Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video, Seafood Gumbo. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here and you're interested in learning how to cook authentic Cajun and Creole cuisine, comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you're in the right place. Now today, we're gonna kick off with a wonderful seafood gumbo. This thing has crab. I'm gonna put crawfish tails in there. We're gonna have shrimp. It's gonna be delicious. Without any further ado, let's get to the kitchen so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna start off by getting our vegetables prepped. Now, normally I would show you the ingredients, but there's a lot going on here, and I'm gonna have the full recipe with the ingredient list in the description box below. All right, we're dicing up our trinity here, which is onion, bell pepper, celery. We're gonna do some minced garlic. We're gonna chop up some okra and just get it all prepped before we start cooking. If there's one thing about putting okra in gumbo is that it will make it slimy. And some people like that, and personally, I cannot stand it. So I'm gonna show you a little trick on how to get rid of that okra slime. First of all, I have a frying pan that I heated up to a medium-high heat. We're gonna add a little bit of oil and let that come up to temperature. Now we're gonna add the okra. And you wanna make sure that your frying pan and your oil comes up to at least 365 degrees because we wanna cook this kind of quick. We're not trying to soften up the okra. We're just trying to cook the slime out of it and put a little color on it. Now I'm hoping this comes through on camera and you can see the slime when I run the back of the spoon over the okra. Now after you saute it for about 5 minutes on a medium-high heat, you can see that that slime is now gone. Now that we have our okra sauteed, I put it in a bowl and I set that to the side until later. Now it's time to get this party started. I have a cast iron, enamel coated Dutch oven. We have heated up to a medium-low heat. I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil and 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and we're gonna start on our roux. Now at this point, you need to make sure you have at least 20 to 25 minutes of free, undistracted time. You need to stir this roux consistently till we get it to the color we want. If you burn it, which you will be able to tell just by the smell, you have to start over. There's no saving a burnt roux. And we are 5 minutes in, and not much has changed. Just your oil and flour start to really come together at this point. Just keep stirring. We're 10 minutes in, and not much has changed other than a little bit of a consistency difference, but we're going to keep on going. We're 15 minutes in, and now you can really see the consistency change, and it's starting to get a little bit darker, but we're not there yet. We're going to keep on rolling. 20 minutes in, and now you can really see that it has changed consistency, changed color. I mean, a lot has happened in the last 5 minutes, and we're going to keep on going because we're looking for a dark chocolate color, and this is going to change consistency again. So I'll see you in about another 5. We're 25 minutes in, and you can see it's nice and dark. We're almost there. We got a little bit longer to go. It's starting to stick a little bit to the bottom of the pot, so I'm going to go ahead and add about another 1/8 of a cup of oil to prevent that, and I'll see you in a few more minutes. Now we are 40 minutes into this, and you can see even though we added a tiny bit more oil, it was actually the cooking process and the time that broke this down to the consistency that it is again. Now I love the color. We're gonna get ready to move on with this. Now it took me 40 minutes to make this roux, but for unexperienced people who aren't used to making roux, you should make one on a low temperature so you don't burn it. More experienced people will cook it on a high temperature, will make the roux faster, but if you burn it, you lose it. You gotta start all over again. So I suggest if you're not experienced, go ahead, put in the time, understand you're gonna lose about a little less than an hour of your life making a roux, but it's all worth it in the end. Now it's time to add our trinity. We wanna get this mixed in well, cook it down for about 3 minutes or so. Remember to keep stirring this because your roux is still vulnerable. We do not want it to burn. Now it's time to add our garlic. We're gonna go ahead and mix that in, cook it for about 2 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Now it's time to add our liquid. Now I have some homemade seafood stock on the side. I'm gonna add a little bit at first, make sure it gets well incorporated into the roux, because if I add too much liquid at once, there's a possibility we could have lumps of roux in our gumbo, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna add a little bit at a time, get it mixed in well, then I'll add the rest. Now you don't have to have homemade seafood stock. You can go to the store and buy some. Or if you can't find seafood stock, use chicken stock. Or you can add water and add you some of that better than bouillon or whatever your preference is. But you're going to get your best results using a homemade seafood stock. Now if you don't know how to make a seafood stock, let me know in the comments below if you're interested and I'll make a video on it. Now it's time to season our gumbo. Now I'm going to use my West Coast Cajun Cuisine's Creole seasoning. You can use whatever your favorite Creole Cajun seasoning is. If you'd like to get your hands on some of mine, just shoot me an email and I will hook you up. Now I'm going to add our herbs, our bay leaves, some more seasoning. I will have the full recipe in the description box below. Now that we have our gumbo seasoned, we want to bring it up to a simmer. So turn your heat up to about a medium or so until you start to see it come up to a boil. Drop that heat back down to a low, cover it, cook it for 45 minutes to an hour, stirring occasionally. Now we want to go ahead and add our okra. Once we get that in there, give it a quick stir and we'll start adding the seafood. Alright, we're going to start off by adding the crawfish. Now this is completely optional. I no longer live in California. I live in Alabama. I can find frozen crawfish tails in my local grocery store. Depending on where you're watching from, you may not be able to find those. But if you can, just make sure on the package it says from Louisiana and you'll be just fine. Now we're going to add our lump crab meat and give that a quick stir. Now unfortunately I could not get my hands on some blue crab, which I would have loved to put in here, but I got some snow crab clusters, so we're going to throw those up in there. Now we're going to go in there with our shrimp. We're going to give that a quick stir. We're going to cover it and we're going to cook it for about 3 minutes or so, just until the shrimp become opaque and are done, and then that's a wrap. Ooh, boy, look what we got here. Let me tell y'all something. This was so delicious, and those crawfish were hitting in this gumbo. Look, if you'd like to subscribe and you haven't already, click here. You want to check out another video on this channel, check out this playlist, or YouTube thinks this is the video you may want to watch next. Either way, click one of these, and I'll see you there.